On today's episode of the Entrepreneurial Process, we'll be interviewing the owner of Geo's Art Expression, art gallery, and also framing studio. Geo, what made you decide to start this type of business with framing and painting?
Well, this go far back when I was in Jamaica and I was painting and I had problem getting enough frames for my painting. So I decided to start framing myself, and I started with very little tools. I had like a crosscut saw. I didn't have a plane. I used sandpaper and wood, and I get my wood smooth but not level, but I was able to get away with it because the painting sells the frame. Now that I'm in New York, I have access to frames that are already ready in 10-foot lengths. So all I have to do is to miter them, join them, and put them to my frames. Now, the fact that I'm a painter, I am involved in a lot of community work, like Roy Wilkins Art Show annually. I'm the assistant chair for the show, and we have like 90 artists participating in this show every year. At the end of that show, they have nowhere to showcase their work. So the gallery gives them that type of avenue to showcase their work. Have, you know, numerous shows here during the year from individual artists or group shows. Now that's one of the main reasons for having this gallery going. If you notice that to the front of the gallery I have more frames display, frame samples, than the art which is in the back room, because I believe in that the community needs this type of thing. The closest framer to Geo's Art Expression is Michael's, which is how many miles away in Green Acres. You know, so this gives, you know, the community an opportunity to be able to put their house, you know, in order, especially during this COVID thing. You know, your house is your palace and you want to make sure it's right. So a lot of people are bringing out works that they have 10 years, 20 years. I've been looking somewhere to frame my work. So, you know, for one, they are happy to know that I'm here, you know, to take care of that for them. Two, a lot of them are coming because it's black owned. And, you know, I try my best to satisfy my people. Sometimes I even do voluntary work. You know, depends on the, you know, on who on the organization that comes. I also do trophies because I'm a graphic designer, and it allows me to help people select their work, organize their work in the way in which it should be done. A lot of people depend on me, really, to do it for them. Framing is another area where people depend on me to put things together. And as a framer, I apply the art. I'm sure you know I'm an artist. Right, so I apply the art to the frame and it make a difference. You know, and a lot of people, you know, depend on me for that.
So adding to that, what have you learned from running this sort of a business?
At my age, you know, you wonder, why should I at 71 be running a business like this? But because God has blessed me with talents, I try to make sure I use them. And there are a lot of people out there who really, they need the help. They don't know what they really want. So here I'm like a teacher. I share the knowledge with them when they come. You know, for one, if you are paying for it, then I should give you what you request. But I can also advise you on what is the best for you. It's up to you whether you want to take it or not.
Yeah.
And this is where I come in very, you know, useful in the community. Yeah.
That's interesting. I know that over the time of being here, since I've been working with Geo since 2000 and what? When did I meet you? 2018, I think. Summer 2018, I think.
Yeah.
I met you, and just from being
No, you could know based on your age because you were 20.
around that age.
Yeah, yeah. How much now? 23?
Yeah.
You were 20 at the time when I met you. You say
Okay.
you're gonna be 21. So
So you know, since even that time, being here and being able to be in the gallery, like I've seen Geo frame paintings, certificates of all different types of materials, even like some materials where he's looking at it like, how am I even gonna put this in a frame, and have to you have to, like, you know, do a little finessing.
sometimes I really can't decide on it at the moment. I sleep overnight on it. It's in my head. I come back in the morning with the answer. Yeah. So sometimes I have to change what the
Method.
customer really wants in
Yeah.
order to make it look right. Yeah.
And that's the most interesting thing, because it's not like a lot of people might think, oh, it's just pop, 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 but based on size, material, type of image, that all factors into the type of frame that would go with it. So it's a lot of, I won't say a lot of work, but it's a lot of energy that has to be put into determining what frame makes a certain type of painting look good, and what frame can actually work with the type of material he's using, so it actually lasts for a long period of time.
Yes, I hope that all my jobs outlast me. You know, I remember the experience that this framer had. For 1 year he was doing so much work. You know, he makes so much money. But for the other year, all those work was coming back to him that he had to repair.
Wow.
So that year he didn't make nothing.
Wow.
So when I do a job, I do it so that it will outlast me. You know, as long as I'm alive, then that job shouldn't come back to me for repair. If you break the glass, then okay, I'll fix it. But otherwise, that should stay. You know, the glue you use to keep the picture in its place. Sometimes people use those little masking tape. Those crystallize.
Yeah.
And it's gonna drop. So you have to use a glue that is not gonna crystallize, and it will stay forever. You know, so the better material is the key, and that's what we use at Geo's Art Expression.
Nice. All right. So thanks for taking this interview. By the way, it's his birthday, so happy birthday to you.
Thank you, man.
All
Thank
right,
you.
71 today, guys. 71, and still going strong. He's pushing for 100. All right.
Only that?
Huh?
110.
Okay.
All right.